And here we go. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. Josh Rose, Digital Director here at WFRV. I'm joined with Chris Schuler.
Hi, Josh.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. I'm good. Doing well.
Good. Well, we're talking a little bit today about this virtual town hall that our station, as well as our sister station in La Crosse, is hosting. So virtual town hall is going to be on not only our website, wearegreenbay.com, it will be in the same place, same channel that everybody's watching it right now online as we speak, but it'll also be on air in a full half-hour special tonight at 6:30. We're talking to a few different people, including Governor Evers, talking to Department of Health Secretary-designee Andrea Palm, including a few different state representatives out of La Crosse, Jill Billings, and then here locally out of Kaukauna, Jim Steinecke. Now you caught up, just to preview for people wondering about what this town hall is, about who we're going to talk to. You spoke a little bit with Governor Evers today, is that correct?
I did, and also with the health secretary, and we sat down this morning, and obviously, I mean, they sat down in Madison, and we were in our studios here, but through the electronic media today and Zoom, a great program, we were able to sit with them and speak about some of the things that are going on in the state right now since the safer at home order was overruled by and struck down by the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. Talked about how counties and municipalities after that happened, you know, put in place their own, and then like a day later they put them all down. Yeah. And still there are some that I know of in the state that have them because they think they can go to court and it'll stand up. But many of those who took away the safer at home orders they put in, we're scared about going to court and losing. So,
right.
Yeah.
Now, when you spoke to Governor Evers, and we don't want to give too much away because it's still we're still going to be working with them throughout the process of this evening in the virtual town hall itself. But as you said, when you guys were talking about it, did he get into any of the back and forth on how, when the Supreme Court struck down the ruling, the counties then and cities determining some of them to reinstate it and then rescinding it a day later? Did he get into any of that?
Yeah, you know, we didn't want to make the conversation with him partisan politics.
Sure.
So we kind of led off with the understanding of what had happened, right. How the order had been rescinded by the state Supreme Court. And the questions we kind of started off were with, you know, yes, this ruling happened and it's led to a lot of confusion around the state. We have this patchwork of regulations all across it. And he talked about his concerns. You know, what are the things that concern him about that? Because obviously I think what I got out of it, his greatest concern is that, you know, the state was doing so well at controlling right. the coronavirus. And here we come along and take away that order that they were using to craft their policies with, and he's scared that it's going to start to explode again.
Right, and for those joining us now, you may have seen just moments ago at 1:30, we streamed Governor Evers and DHS their almost daily update. They update about 2 or 3 times a week, a statewide update. And they did get into a little bit of that. So if people are looking to find some of that, you can find that on the website. We'll have that there for them. Now, when you talk to Department of Health Services Secretary Andrea Palm, what kind of stuff did she and I'll pop a video up on here so people can kind of see a little
sure.
behind the scenes of the interviewing process and when we were speaking to her. So what kind of stuff did she get into with you?
Well,
what did you ask?
Well, I asked her about, again, you know, the state is reopening. I mean, it's happening fast and furious in many places, and what concerns she has about that. And again, she kind of echoed the governor. We also talked about how we can mitigate things now from the state side. And she went back to the testing. Testing is key right now. It's the main emphasis the state has, and she's sure there's enough tests out there because, you know, earlier on there were cries, maybe not in Wisconsin but elsewhere, that, you know, there wasn't enough equipment to get these tests done. Right. And also she talked about the importance of contact tracers, the folks who do that critical work after the point, so you identify someone who has the virus. Well, then the contact tracer comes in to make sure they can get in touch with everyone that person came into contact with, box them in, and prevent the virus from spreading.
Did she get into it all? And I know people have asked about that. We've even considered stories, even from the digital side, about what goes into contact tracing itself. Are these people just interested? Are they part of the health services department? Are they people off the street interested to get more involved? Does she get into any of that type of thing?
No, but I know that the governor has set aside, I believe it's somewhere in the area of $1 billion to do more hiring. I know he has said time and time again he would like to get 1,000 contact tracers on the payroll, because he knows that they are so vitally important. I've spoken with the president of Privé in the past about contact tracers, and they're basically people who have a medical background, who just, you know, they're medical detectives.
Sure.
I mean, they're not going to go to a grocery store if someone's sick and they go down the aisle and they tell them, you know, I was at the grocery store that day. There's no way they can reach everyone in that grocery store, but they're going to go to the people who have the closest contact to them, and that could be 2, that could be 4, that could be 8.
Right. Well, and that's community spread. That's a big part of what they started documenting and telling us about on the early set of all this, being able to follow some of that.
Right.
Now, for people just joining us, we were talking a little bit about the virtual town hall we're streaming. Now, we are streaming it today, but we're also doing it in partnership with our sister station out of La Crosse. So we actually have not only representatives from across the state, including Jill Billings out of the La Crosse area, and Jim Steinecke here locally out of Kaukauna. But we also have different Chamber and Commerce representatives involved in this town hall.
Right.
La Crosse Chamber of Commerce, Fox Cities Chamber of Commerce, Vice President. So a lot of people involved to let people know what is happening now. What is the state of the state, more or less, when it comes to the coronavirus pandemic. And to give some of you some insight into what to expect tonight, we also asked on Facebook some questions from viewers. So we do have some questions from viewers. They recorded, you know, we're going to get those up there, you can see. So if you guys still have questions, you can send them in the post to here, and we'll see if we can get them asked. But this really is a town hall for the people. Now, in your conversations with them kind of finishing up here tonight, did they lead into really what they expect in the future? Or do they predict some type of second wave, as it were, now that things are reopening? Did
Your conversations with the governor and with the secretary?
Right.
No, unfortunately, we didn't have the time to get into that. You know, I really wish we could have. And I know that is something that the governor has said he is concerned about. You know, getting back to the Supreme Court ruling, and getting rid of Safer at Home. I mean, the governor says that, you know, the GOP went to court so they could get a seat at the table with the governor and negotiate and come up with a Safer at Home document together. But then as the days went by after that, the governor says that he was told, well, Governor, we don't want to work with you to begin with. You know, for various reasons.
From what he was saying.
Yeah. From he was saying this.
Yes.
From that perspective, so, you know, it's just as you and I know, and as people watching this know, who have been watching this story. I mean, this is something that is so fluid. It changes all the time.
Well, literally,
the players change and the issues change. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's that point changing so much, so often. We hear in the newsroom, one second, you know, the Supreme Court's overruled. The next second, individual counties are reinstating it. The next second, they're rescinding it. You're right. It's very fluid. Couldn't be more right in putting it that way.
But and your point about bringing in our viewers and the public and getting their questions and their comments, I have to say, when I talked to the governor and the Secretary of Health this morning, we were lucky enough to have a couple people from our viewers who we taped, and they added their voice to this, and it was interesting, and it was good stuff.
Good.
And I think we're going to see a lot of good information and a lot of good viewpoints coming up on our special tonight at 6:30.
Fantastic. So tonight, 6:30, virtual town hall. Thank you for giving us a little bit of preview of what to expect, what could be in the show tonight. But again, 6:30 tonight on WFRV, on air, as well right here on wearegreenbay.com and our mobile app. So if you have the mobile app, we'll send a push notification when we're live. If you're watching this at our sister station out in La Crosse, it'll also be on their Facebook and on their website as well. So thank you, Chris.
Appreciate
your time, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.